Hello and welcome to a special edition of Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey. I'm Kristen Liebisch and we are here today with Matt Moulson of the New York Islanders. Matt has played for the Islanders for the last 3 seasons and spends his summers in Connecticut. Let's check out what Matt is up to. So tell us what you're doing here in Stamford today.
Running a little hockey camp for kids. This is my 4th year doing it. It's a lot of fun to have my brother and my 2 brother-in-laws out there helping me, so a full family event.
And what is your tie with Connecticut hockey?
My father-in-law, Mike Backman, he's been coaching forever with Connecticut hockey. Jonathan Quick played there. They always know our brother-in-laws, but they always ask us how we're related. We're married 2 sisters. Sean Backman, my wife's brother, played Connecticut hockey and plays for Bridgeport currently. And my youngest brother-in-law, Brett, he's going to Avon next year, but he played Connecticut hockey all the way growing up. So I guess I kind of got adopted into the Connecticut hockey family.
Now, would you say that you and John have a little rivalry going?
The women are probably the most competitive. The
right.
2 sisters, my wife and his wife, Alessia and Jacqueline, they, I think they're more competitive about the game when we play each other than we actually are.
So the women are sitting there and saying, well, my husband's going to win the Stanley Cup first, right?
Yeah, well, I think we lost that one.
And what do you do on your off season?
Well, this one's been a little more hectic than usual. We have a baby due in any time now. So.
Congratulations. Baby girl, right?
Baby girl. So that's been exciting. Other than that, just a lot of training, skating, and relaxing anytime I can.
So do you think that your daughter is going to play hockey?
Well, it was up to me, she would. We'll see what my wife says. I don't know if she wants any more hockey players in the family, but secretly I hope she loves to play hockey.
What goes into your training schedule?
Well, I've been working with Ben Prentice for the last couple of years. He kind of reshaped my whole training philosophy, and I don't think it's a coincidence that I started to have success in the NHL when I started training there. And a lot of hard work. He's kind of the mad scientist behind the workout regime. I just follow what he says. We have our skates as well, so a lot of work put in, but well worth it in the end.
How did going to Cornell and being the captain of your hockey team prepare you to play in the NHL?
I learned a lot at Cornell. I think it's a very disciplined program. You had to be disciplined individually with your schoolwork and your hockey, and being captain of a college team and I guess being the leader of other college student athletes is sometimes a little stressful. You have to be very committed, and especially to lead a bunch of your peers. I had some great supporting people when I was there, and I learned a lot about how people are very different. Before that, I had my ways and thought maybe that's the way it should be all the time, but that's not the case. I think everyone's a little different. Learning how people work on the team and in school as well, meeting a lot of different people, was probably one of the biggest things I learned.
What did you study at Cornell?
Economics was my major, but I had a concentration in finance, and accounting was probably my best subject. Probably one of the most boring to most people, but one of the most interesting for myself. My dad was an accountant, so it runs in the blood.
Now, you've worked your way up through AAA and through the AHL. How difficult has that been to stick with your dream of being an NHL player?
It was very tough at times. You're faced with a lot of adversity, and one year I was cut from every single team in the league. I remember my dad telling me, if you want to quit, you can quit. Maybe I was just naive when I was younger, but I always believed that if you worked hard enough and you really committed yourself truly 100% to trying to achieve a goal, that you can do it. And a lot of times where I was down when I was cut, and even when I was in the AHL being sent down to the NHL, there were some tough times. You face injuries, you face different things, and you just have to learn pretty quickly to overcome those.
What did you do to motivate yourself to keep going?
I think first I loved playing hockey. That was a big thing. If I didn't love it so much, I probably would have quit a long time ago. I've always loved scoring goals for as long as I can remember. I think my first stick I ever had, you could notch in your goals, so maybe that's where I learned it. I didn't want my stick to be empty, so I had to notch all my goals. And I always just loved competing, loved scoring. I always wanted to score 20 goals in the NHL. That was my dream, score 20 goals in the NHL, and luckily I've accomplished that, and my dreams have kind of grown bigger than that, but that always kept me going, just thinking I can get there. A lot of people said I couldn't, and I wanted to prove them wrong. That was another thing that drove me, was proving everyone that said I couldn't get there wrong.
Well, speaking of scoring, what was it like to score your first NHL goal?
I got called up on my birthday, and then the next day we had a game in San Jose. I remember everything that happened leading up to the game. I remember the night before going in the room, and Tom Person was my roommate, and I was extremely nervous going into the room because he was already in bed. I remember playing against San Jose. I think my first shift I was in my own zone for about 2 minutes against Joe Thornton's line, so it was a rude awakening. I thought if this is the NHL, it's gonna be a tough go for me, but luckily I kind of got my nerves under control, and then in the second period got a goal, and I don't think I've smiled that big too many times. It was a great feeling. At that point in time, it was kind of like all your dreams coming true at once. So it was a huge moment.
So for the past 3 years that you've been with the Islanders, you've had a record of over 30 goals. Now, the Islanders haven't had such a great past. What is it like for you to stay motivated with a team like the Islanders?
We obviously have had a tough couple of years. Our goal is to make the playoffs, and obviously we haven't achieved that. And personally, I just want to make sure I do everything I can in the summer to improve my game, improve things, so I can be the best player I can be out there for the Islanders to help us get to the playoffs. So that's what motivates me. Seeing my brother-in-law hoist the Stanley Cup over his head, you want to be a part of that. I use that as my motivation to really make myself, like I said, the best I can be to try and help us get to the playoffs.
Do you have any advice for Connecticut hockey players?
It's a long road to the NHL. You get some parents out there in Connecticut and Toronto, they think their kid's going to make the NHL when they're 9 years old, and that's probably the furthest thing from it. I don't think I played my first game in the NHL until I was 24, so it's a long road there. Every road is different. As long as you keep working, commit yourself to your goal, to your dream, you have a lot better chance than not of achieving that goal.
Thanks to Matt Moulson for taking the time to sit down with us today. For more episodes, check out our website, gottalovecthockey.org. Thanks for watching. This has been Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey.